Hey guys, vice versa here. I've got a lot of questions about my UI, so I thought I'd give you guys a little insight into what I'm doing with it and what works for me. I won't necessarily be giving a full rundown on every feature of these add-ons, as I trust you guys and gals are intelligent and can figure out the little nuances on your own, but I will be highlighting some of the useful features. The add-ons mentioned in this video are all available via Curse, and will be linked in the description below. So my UI is formed at its core from 5 add-ons specifically. It'll be Spartan UI, Bartender, Move Anything, Titan Panel, Tidy Plates. So those are going to be the 5 main add-ons. We're going to be supplementing those. I use a few visible add-ons that help me track important information. It's going to be Weak Auras, SCADA, Announce Interrupts, Omni CC, and Deja Character Stats. After that, I use a few add-ons and satellites that aren't too important or necessarily visible in my Artifact Challenge Guide, and those are going to be DBM, or Deadly Boss Mods, World Quest Tracker, Arc Inventory, and Exorcist Raid Tools. So the 5 core add-ons are the most important as they form the basis for my viewport arrangement. I use the standard Spartan UI skin, as we'll see here. There are a number of different skins and things like that that you can use, and the level of transparency can actually be adjusted to suit your needs. I use it completely opaque, so you can do a number of things with it beyond that. So there are a few skins, as you can see here. We can increase or decrease the transparency in the artwork options, so you can see that moves up and down. You can change the color and enable section, and you can make that completely transparent and get rid of that if you want. There's also an offset. You can shift it sideways, left or right. I like mine centered, so we're going to put that back at 0. Awesome. And you can change the scale as well, so you can make it a little bigger and smaller. Your viewport decreases in size when you do that, so you have a little bit more space. But it depends on the size of your screen, so you can do a number of things with this that are very interesting. I like to keep mine at 1. When you change the transparency, it'll scale up and down when you do that. So if I do that and reconfigure the scale down to 0, making it transparent, we'll put all the bars in the center, but get rid of that, bar underneath as well. Okay? You can change your action bar alphas. You can make them bigger, smaller, more invisible, less invisible. The pop-up animations are going to control a few things, but there are a variety of useful little mods to this. It also comes with an auto sell mod as well, auto turn in for quests. I have mine automatically turned off, especially during this weird artifact power kind of scenario that we're in. You can show buffs in different ways, so on and so forth. There's a number of different things you can do with this. Bartender 4 is actually necessary, as it's what allows you to snap all the bars together and show all these different bars in different spaces. I have my bags in with my mini micro bar with all your options, with your talents and your whatchamajiggers and your spell book and your abilities and your character info. Those are all together. You can also use an add-on that's called Omni CC. That is here in my list, Omni CC and Omni CC config. Those are going to show you your numbers on your cooldowns and things like that on your bars. That'll help you as well. You can also have it show your rune cooldowns, as you see here. So that'll be helpful and useful. So that'll show you your rune cooldowns there on your bars. Move Anything actually is one of the best add-ons, I think. It gives you an actual button, so you don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to use the chat command or anything, but you can use the chat command if you like. That's going to be /move. But that will allow you to move all sorts of different bars on your screen to different places, including, say, things like the character screen. You can move that to the left, to the center, so when you actually open it, it'll open up over there, or you can move it around, you can shift it, or you can, you can resize it using the little bars here on the top and the bottom. So you can increase the size and make it ginormous if you want. You can make it, and it'll show you the scale in the center. 1 is going to be basically the normal scale, and then as you go up, it just increases in size by a percentage, as you can see there in the center. So just drag it back down to 1. We can put it back in the default position, and you can right click to get rid of whatever frame you don't want to change. You can use the search bar at the bottom to search for different frames. You can use the actual list to find the frames that you want. You can also use something called the frame stack tooltip, which will allow you to click that on, and then you can move around your screen and it will tell you what each frame is. So you can go to it in the list and change it, but it'll tell you what each item is, so you can figure out what you want to change. I also use Tidy Plates, which is my nameplate add-on. I don't like the default Blizzard nameplates. They kind of suck. But Tidy Plates is great because it comes with automated settings based on your changing role. So we're going to take a look at those in the interface. We're going to go to Tidy Plates here. So you can see it has a tank profile, a damage profile, a healer profile. Gladiator is kind of defunct now for the most part. I believe that's for PvP. So you can check that out. So you can change things around, filter your debuffs. This is one of my favorite features of this add-on. It allows you to add specific debuffs to a list, and those are the only debuffs that will show up above your nameplates. So instead of having 100 different debuffs from different things that kind of show up and kind of go in, come out, disappear, reappear, you can only have it show debuffs that are on your target that you want to see. So for instance, it's important to me to know whether or not my Virulent Plague is on a target, whether or not my Scourge of Worlds is on a target, whether or not my Festering Wounds are on a target, my Soul Reaper, my Outbreak, my Death debuff from my ghouls. But there are a lot of debuffs that I also apply that I don't care about, so I don't want those cluttering up my nameplates, because my nameplates can only hold a certain number of debuffs at any time. So it's important to remember also to add debuffs from other specs into your damage profile if you have multiple DPS specs, because they won't show up if you switch to that spec and you go to try and put a debuff on a target. For instance, this list only has my unholy debuffs that I want to see. So if I switch and I go Frost, it will not show me debuffs on my target that are frost based that are not in that list. So I can sit here and cast Howling Blast, but you will never see Frost Fever above my target. But if I go back to Unholy, you can see that it adds that to my target as Frost Fever. You can add Soul Reaper, I can add my Festering Wounds, Festering Wounds, so on and so forth. Okay? So those are useful. The last add-on we're going to mention here is going to be Titan Panel. An old standby and an add-on that I've used since Burning Crusade. It monitors a variety of statistics, including gold count, repair level, latency, frame rate, volume control, and even currency, which is great. And it'll show you all of those things in a really nice, condensed way, in a readable, accessible location, and you can reposition it to be anywhere on your screen. That's not done by dragging, that's done in the configuration settings, so you can do a number of things with that. You can add extra bars on the bottom of your screen, right there. You can have those auto-hide as well. You can show double bars at the bottom of your screen as well, but that can be a little bit cluttery, so it depends on what you want to do. You can also disable the screen adjust, so you have those bars overlapping whatever it is that's at the bottom of your screen already, which you probably wouldn't want to do. And then, so there are a number of things you can do with Titan Panel that are very useful. You can see your frame rate at the top of your screen. It also shows you your current coordinates, your bag space, your durability, how much it's going to cost you to repair, what the type of loot is, so you're not, you know, searching around to try and find out if you're on personal loot or master loot or whatever it is. So those are really useful. So now we're going to get into some other add-ons that are a little bit important but not necessarily crucial. You can use a variety of add-ons for these things. But I like the ones that I'm using. They're adjustable enough. They're not super rigid, super structured in the way that you have to do things. So they give you a lot of freedom in the ability to do the things that you want. So we're gonna start. We're gonna go find ourselves a little caster. This will do. Alright. So one of the first add-ons I want to talk about here is going to be Announce Interrupts. It will print a useful little message for you when you interrupt a spell. And that is actually very good, because it's really helpful and useful. You can use it to basically alert your raid when you interrupt a spell. It also kind of tattles on you if you're interrupting something you're not supposed to be interrupting or it's not your turn yet. But I think that's good because honestly, I feel it helps you improve. So it has a few different types of settings here that you can use. It can show you what you interrupted it on, what spell you interrupted it with. So you can do a number of different interesting things that aren't available to you in the normal Blizzard UI. Another add-on that I use that I really like is going to be Deja character stats. It's almost mandatory this expansion with the way that Blizzard has kind of arranged the new base character page UI. It doesn't really give you a lot of the information that I feel is crucial to you to know about your stats. So the Deja character stats returns this information to your screen. So we're going to do a before and after. This is with Deja character stats. As you can see, it shows me my current runic power, armor, strength, all of those sorts of things. My current movement speed, rune regeneration speed, weapon DPS, weapon damage, so on and so forth. But if I go into my add-ons and I disable Deja character stats here, reload my UI, you'll see that it returns me to the base Blizzard UI, which doesn't show me nearly as many things. It kind of condenses my item level. It doesn't show me what my attack damage is and things like that. It shows me very limited numbers on my haste, mastery, critical strike, all those secondary stats. And I feel like it's a lot less useful overall to not be able to see those things. Last but not least, I'd like to give an honorable mention to Arc Inventory. As an add-on, it's rather lightweight. And it allows you to arrange your bag space in a way that's intuitive and helpful to you. Need to find your quest items? Right where you left them. Lost a piece of gear in your bags? It's right there with the rest, arranged by item level. So it's really helpful. It's really useful for organization and things like that. So it's a great add-on to have. A lot of people like to use Bagnon as well, so there are a variety of options there for you to use in terms of bag add-ons. But this is my favorite. It also hooks really well into Titan panel. It has its own panel for general information, so you can show your bags, money, mounts, pets, tracking currency. Tracking currency is actually one of my favorites, since your backpack only tracks 3 versions of currency at once by standard, but you can look at them all here in a nice compact list. So that's very helpful as well. Okay, so like I said, links to the add-ons are all below the video. Like and subscribe if you guys are interested, and peace for now, guys.